Welcome to the Video CPA. I thought I'd do a quick video on questions that I see on the internet that are running rampant about the coronavirus stimulus payments. So I've got 5 questions that I'm going to answer today. And my basis for these answers are from the CARES Act, Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. Also from IRC 24C, which defines a qualifying child for the child tax credit, and then from IRC 152C, which actually defines a qualifying child for a dependency exemption. So those are the references that I'm using today, and there are a lot of things out on the internet that are causing some confusion, and this, I have to say, this whole thing has been done very quickly, and so there is a lot of confusion about it. But let's get into it. First question: what income figure is the stimulus payment calculated on? That's going to be your 2018 or 2019 adjusted gross income. Not your taxable income, but adjusted gross income. In most cases, they're going to use 2018 unless you filed your 2019 return very early. Second question: are stimulus payments taxable? The answer to that is no, they are a refund or a credit, and so they are not going to be taxable. Question number 3: will young people over 17 and claimed as a dependent on another's return receive a stimulus payment? The answer to that, unfortunately, is no right now, from my understanding and what I've read of the legislation and other articles on the internet. Unfortunately, the IRS, instead of just going with Section Code 152C, which defines a qualifying child for a dependency exemption, further restricted it by referring to 24C for the child tax credit, which limits the stimulus payment to just those under 17. Now, apparently, these people have not ever raised a child that's over 17 years old because they cost just as much as anybody else. So this one's a hard one to swallow, and hopefully at some point in time this may be changed. Now, let me say one other thing about this issue. Code Section 152C basically says that if an individual reaches a certain age or attains a certain age by the end of the year, they're not eligible. So in this case, it would apply to 17-year-olds. If they attain the age of 17 by the end of the year, they're not going to be eligible for the coronavirus stimulus payments. And by the end of the year, I mean by the end of the year 2020. Question number 4: can stimulus payments be collected by ex-spouses against back child support? I don't see any information in the code that exempts the government from doing this, but again, it's up to the state. I know the state of Texas is already mobilized and planning on collecting back child support against these refunds or against these stimulus payments, but it depends on the state and local governments. The other problem is that these things are going to be distributed so quickly that even if state and local governments decide that they should be levied for child support, the payments are already going to be to the individuals. And so unfortunately, I don't think ex-spouses with kids are going to be able to get much of this money. Question number 5 is probably the most controversial of any of the questions we've covered, and that is, will stimulus payments have to be repaid? I know there's at least one article out there from the Tax Foundation that says no, they won't have to be, and there's at least one other article that says the same thing. I would be a little cautious. I think we're a little premature in making that decision right now, but let me give you my opinion on that. Your advanced stimulus credit or payment is going to be based on either 2018 or 2019 adjusted gross income. The premium credit itself, the stimulus credit itself, is going to be based on your 2020 income. Now, the IRS has said if you overstate your income and you're due a stimulus credit, that they will give you that stimulus credit. I haven't read anything from the IRS or in the code that says they won't charge you additional money if you've understated your income in 2018. For example, if you've put $70,000 in 2018 or 2019, which was your income, and your income turns out to be $100,000, that they won't want that stimulus payment back. And the way they would get it back is through your 2020 tax return. The reason I'm saying this is because since it's based on 2020, and if your income has gone up, you really don't qualify for the stimulus payment in the first place. And so why would they give you a stimulus payment if you don't qualify for it? I mean, you basically estimated that you get one, but in the end, the code refers to a mathematical error that says they have a right to get that stimulus payment back. So think about that, be cautious, and again, this is my opinion, but I think it's going to be treated much like the Obamacare insurance advance premium credits, that there's a reckoning period or a settle up period at the end of the year, which would be on your tax return for the 2020 period. Now, let me say this. I am sure about this. Your stimulus payment will not have to be paid back if you're making under the threshold amount in 2018 or 19, and you continue to be making under the threshold amount in 2020. There's no doubt there that you will not have to pay your stimulus payment back. Thank you for tuning in. If you've got more questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll try to answer all those that I can. In the meantime, good living, and until next time, subscribe to this channel so that you can continue getting updates on new videos. And like the video if you do like it. And again, I appreciate you listening. Thank you. In summary, please look over the information on this slide, subscribe to the channel, or visit other videos that I may have done. Thank you very much.